Welcome back everyone. Today I have another video. This time is for Vivi. As I'm revisiting this leader, as one of the ones that I had the most fun playing. Um, it might not be probably the top tier deck, but it's the one that you can have the most deck expression when it comes to deck building. Like there's a lot of things that you can do with it, and I want to keep experimenting with it. I think it's really fun. It's probably gonna be a good locals deck. Beyond that, I see some matchups that are gonna be difficult, and those are the ones that are hard to overcome. But besides that, there's a lot of matchups where you have a lot of legency of what you can do, and the deck is very functional without what you're doing for what you're doing, right? The first thing that this is another version that I'm building for this deck, and I was trying to do teach rush, so you can have touch, attack with it, then on the same turn attack with teach, and then draw 2 cards, and then draw cards for but for Vivi you draw 2 cards. That's another concept. The idea is that you draw 2 cards per turn. Basically that's what you want to do with Vivi, and cards like Sentomaru, Teach, and King allow you to do that, because Sentomaru puts a body in and then you draw a card because you give a rush. So that's probably the best early game thing that you can do with Vivi. And then later on, you use Teach if they deal with your Sentomaru. You use Teach so you can get value that way too. You can also sacrifice a Sentomaru, a leftover Isho, or a Touch. There's a lot of ways that you can use the touch of the Teach ability, so it's really nice. And then at the end of all of that, you're trying to just do 7 drops that gain rush, and you can attack with them. Why 7 drops? I think is the best number because it allows you also to keep up a happiness punch. But you can also play 8 drops that are maybe good on these 2 colors. That's another way to explore this deck. I think it has a merit to it, and something that I want to be looking into. But that's not what I wanted to talk about. I just wanted to basically the main thing is that I want to play cards and give them rush the Don Flamingo, because it's really good against Rebecca, because you're able to bounce back the Luffy's and at the same time apply pressure, and you have a fat hand against Rebecca, so it's really nice to be able to defend your board at the same time. Flamingo is really good in that scenario. And then the best card probably in this deck is being King, as you're able to draw 2 cards and then attack for an AK. Very, very, very nice. One of the most overperforming cards in this deck. And something like Marco, and it's just another card that you can play as a blocker. I only play 1 blocker. You can add more blockers. There's different ways to play the deck, and that's what I want to keep exploring. And that's also why I'm playing this Marco, the 5-drop, because you get to KO blockers and then just attack the same turn. You can play something like Pell, but the problem is that it doesn't have any counter power, and I kind of want to be able to outcombo out of anything with this leader. So I just want to and it's not searchable by the ISO, so that's why I'm playing Marco instead of something like Pell, right? Also, Red Rock is very important for the deck, because after you're done playing your cards and you're just out-tempoing your opponent a little bit, you have to be able to answer the big cards, because those are the ones that are gonna beat you ultimately, because you're not playing blockers to block them, so you have to actually out-combo them, and it's very difficult, so you actually have to remove them so you are able to continue with the game plan, right? But with that being said, let's go see some gameplay. I also have the Patreon, so if you want to support the channel any other way, you can go see and see if it's something for you. If you want to help the channel a little bit more, something that I will hope that you can see. Let's go into the gameplay. Okay, and we're gonna play against Rebecca, and the idea is that we get to have Flamingo is probably our best card against this deck. Sadly, we didn't draw into it, but at least we're gonna be able to do probably even Machina next turn, depending on what happens. And we're gonna draw another card, so it's gonna be a grindy game, but one that we might be able to win depending on what we draw. We just play the second ISO here because we just want to find our curve and what we're gonna do for the rest of the game. Marco is just a card that I can give rush eventually, So I kind of want to do that one. Also, it doesn't. I mean, it deters the opponent from using removal spells because they might think I have an extra card and then they won't use it. That would also be good. Here, however, my opponent doesn't do much that I really mind. I do have to start developing my board, but I mean, I'm not attacking his leader, so it's gonna be harder for him to activate the leader ability. However, he does get to play the Veka now, play a second Kairos. That's gonna mount up. That's gonna be really good for him. He's gonna be able to start applying pressure and gonna make me. Ooh, okay. So we get the Gum Gum Red Hawk out of life, which is actually very good. Now we can do a lot of pressure here, and at the same time, just we have a really big hand, and now we don't have to worry about the second Kairos. That was actually a very good hit out of life, and now the best card that he can play right now is definitely the Luffy. But even if he does play the Luffy, he doesn't have a way to activate the leader ability unless he does the this guy here ability into like Leo. Okay, so that's what he did, and sadly we don't have an extra card to save it because we would have definitely done it, but it is okay. It is fine. It is not the biggest deal. I mean, I still have a huge hand, and every card from here on is gonna have rush, and that is really bad for my opponent. Like that's why this deck could actually have a decent matchup against Rebecca, because every card that I play is gonna have rush, so their removal is a lot weaker. Not to say that the deck like doesn't deal with this removal easily, but at least at least we're able to apply pressure, which is important. Now we also get to attack for big numbers, and then Rebecca's not gonna be able to use the leader ability as much. That's important because they're not gonna have as many cards in the graveyard, and it is just all of these things are important to analyze how good a deck is into whatever. Now here he knows for sure that I don't have my like a way to revive them, so he's just gonna go. I assume he's just gonna go ham here. So he's working in like a good spot here. I think he's just gonna destroy my 2 creatures, and then allegedly I don't have anything else to fall back into. But I drew the Flamingo, but I don't want to play the Flamingo just yet because he has a card that is freeze right now, and I just want to deal the damage, right? And now he doesn't have too many cards in grave. That's what we have to keep important here, because he's not gonna be able to attack that many times. And if he uses the leader ability to untap this Luffy, what I want to bait him into is to play a second Luffy and bounce back the one that he unfreezes. That's what I want to try to do. He plays a second Luffy, and I can easily out-combo out of these attacks. I could probably just combo the Marco 2 as well, because I don't think it's going to be good because I have a lot of life. By the time that card is going to be relevant, it's not really going to be relevant, if you understand what I mean. Now he uses the Luffy ability to untap him. I can definitely save my A-drop here. And also, I should take that one. Yeah, I'm just going to take that one because it's fine. Now I'm going to bounce back the one that doesn't have the freeze and attack the leader. And force him to out-combo this 7k and 8k. I'm going to keep up my Connor. And now if he wants to use the leader of the Luffy's ability to untap him and attack with that one, it's fine with me. Because then the other one is not as impactful, right? He needs to play a second Luffy here to do anything. But I think I'm still fine. I have this extra card which allows me to play better against these Luffys because of what they do, right? Instead, he's gonna attack with Kairos into the Flamingo, which is fine, because then he's not gonna do another play that scares me. Maybe he has a removal spell, but no, he has blockers instead. So now I get to remove his Luffy, probably draw a card here, and then just attack with 8/8, so I can eat the 2 blockers. And he's in a worse spot than he was the last turn. Because he needs to still play the Luffy and still tap out and hope that he can kill my two creatures. Now he also needs to get another Gum Gum the extra card so he can remove my board, but it's not that simple. And then now he can have removal here for what it's worth. Um, but it only deals with one card, and I have two here, which is ideal. He doesn't have too many cards in hand. We know one of them is the Luffy, and then there's allegedly three bricks. I could take this one. I could, yeah, I could take it just so I have more counter power. And then he could play a blocker. No, he uses the leader ability. So then we're trying to do some damage here. And the way we do that is playing Isho, trying to get something. We actually missed. That's kind of sad. But we're going to play the Teach. Try to give a rush. We can use the Makino to just cycle some cards. Also attack kind of big with the leader. And if he doesn't attack the Makino, then it could serve as a blocker. It basically cycles itself. I lost 1k counter for what it's worth. But at least I'm able to attack for 7. He took it, so now I attack for 8. And then put him on if he doesn't play block. If he plays blockers instead of... If he plays the Luffy, then he won't be able to play blockers. Or he won't be able to do much with the Luffy at least. And then if he plays blockers, he won't be able to play the Luffy. And then that's a really bad spot to be on. If you are not able to play Luffy as a Rebecca player, then you are in a really tough spot. Like, there's just nothing you can do that is gonna like really affect me. Now he's gonna be able to destroy the Flamingo for what it's worth, and then he's gonna be able to attack like 3 times into my Teach. But I'm definitely gonna choose defend this, because if this one survives and he doesn't play a blocker, I just go all in with the Teach, right? So okay, so he does play the blocker. But they don't have that much counter power for what it's worth. So I can just try to, like, he's been taking 7s, so I assume he doesn't have anything for this one. Like, he doesn't have much counter power, that's why I'm attacking for 8. If he blocks, then I just have another rush. And then I just go all in with the Teach. Although I can just take it a little bit slow because I have a good board. And I don't think the Luffy will kill me, because the Luffy can only attack the battle cards. And if he plays a blocker, I have Flamingo for the blocker, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, if he clears the board, it doesn't matter. If he tries to go for leader, well, with the Luffy he cannot go for leader. So if he tries to go for game, I have enough counter power to go for game. So I could take a little bit slower. Now that he's completely tapped out, I can just go for game next turn and have no problems with it, right? Now, ideally, I get some... now I can take the last 2 hits because I'm trying to get an attacker that is going to win me the game. And I think the best one that I can find here is going to be Touch, as I can just do Makino with it and then just all the energy and attack for game. That's just 13 out of nowhere. And that's why it is not as bad as a matchup. The Rebecca matchup for her is not as bad. Like, it can be... like a 50-50 at the very least, which is very good to be on a deck against Rebecca. Okay, and we're gonna play against Queen. This matchup, it should be okay as long as Sentomaru survives a turn. Because we're going first and we can just play Sentomaru and get a lot of advantage that way. Sentomaru is definitely your best turn 1 play. But here we can just take a life easily. And now we have Red Rock to remove whatever big bomb they play. So this is actually looking very, very good for me. I get to play this, I get to attack with the Pacifista, and I do get to do a lot of pressure here. If he wants to remove my Pacifista, I just get to replace it. But I have a lot of counter power that just allows me to survive, like, let him survive very, very easily. So like, it's looking good for me right now. He plays a lot of blockers, but I don't mind. I will just keep doing whatever I'm doing right now. And I have a lot of Marcos. Marcos are really good in this matchup. But let's just take advantage of the Pacifista that is here, because it's basically like drawing 2 cards per turn. That's just too much. That is just too much value that I'm not gonna like not take advantage of, right? Like, look at my hand. My hand is double my opponent's hand size, and we have basically the same life. Yeah, he has a couple of blockers, but who cares? Blockers are not gonna win him this game. Now he used Red Rock instead of playing like a big bomb. That is just good for me. That is just good value. I get to stop this attack. Next turn I get to place another Pacifista and give a rush. Oh no, I think I drew the last one. Maybe no. I have one more. I can give a rush, and I can also play an ace. I mean, well, not really, but I can just attack for a lot here. Attack for 6, attack for 6. And then at the same time also develop something else like a teach. Look at my board. My board is just full with like great cards here. Now he can only do one play per turn. And yeah, that's the Yamato, but it's okay with me. And he also KO'd the one that he shouldn't have KO'd, because he should know at this point that I don't have... I mean, I could have another one of the Pacifistas, but like that's not like really what's happening here. Also, I am able to attack here with everything. With the 1-drop here as well. And then I'm gonna give a rush so I can draw cards. That's the only thing that I'm really interested in right now on. And then he's gonna have to start using those blockers. Now ideally I'm able to play the Marco next turn, so I can destroy some of the blockers, because he does have a lot of them for what it's worth. But we're chilling here. I think we have a good hand, and even if he does play like 9-drops or whatever. Okay, my opponent does make a misplay here where he bottom decks one of his own blockers. He should have bottom deck one of my guys, but even if he does that, I'm gonna be able to use a Red Rock next turn, attack with everything. He's gonna have to block with at least 1 or 2 things, and then I'm gonna play my own blocker next turn, and then after that, every turn I'm just gonna do a rush creature. And if he doesn't have the blockers, he needs to have at least 1 9-drop. So every turn that he has to tap out for a 9-drop is a turn that I'm gonna win the game, that I have to win the game. And my hand, my board, and everything was looking very good for that strategy. I just eventually was gonna be able to win this matchup. I don't think he was gonna be able to survive another onslaught. Like next turn I could just easily just go Marco, KO one of the blockers, and attack you for like 3 times for like a bunch of damage. Or I could just remove the Mihawk and be okay with whatever happens. Like I don't have no problems with whatever is happening here. I think I was gonna win regardless this game. I'm still at 3 life. My board's still full. So even if my opponent didn't do my misplay, I was still gonna be able to win this matchup. Okay, and we're gonna play against Crocodile. This could be one of like a hard matchup for us. However, he started with Kaya, and we took second from them, so we have a little bit more time than we usually do. Ideally, I don't take damage early on, because it's gonna be a matchup where I'm gonna have to use my rushers to try to outpace his removal. Yeah, it is what it is, right? Now, I do have a good turn here, because I'm gonna be Teach into Teach, give a rush, and I'm gonna attack 2 6s. So if he removes this Teach, at least I'm gonna be able to play our Teach and then give a rush. But because he didn't, then I get to attack twice here and draw a card in the process. I could also play Marco to destroy the Kaya, and that's what I opt to do. But I mean, it isn't that. I mean, it is whatever. It is okay to do that too. I'm just trying to develop more bodies, because I have to also outpace the removal, right? I also have a lot of removal, like in Flamingo. So as many threats that I can develop, the better for me, because my opponent can basically remove 1 per turn, but it's much more difficult to remove 2 per turn, right? And if he bounces back the Kaya to the hand, it's like giving him a 2K counter, so that's not good. And he opts to do the Red Rock, which is okay. Now I could do Teach into attacking with the Attach, and draw a card, and then be okay here. Definitely just gonna try to out combo, but no, I think Red Rock is gonna be really good. I could use it right now, but no, I think just using it with a Kaido or something like that is much better. I combo the Makino, but I think it probably just should have comboed the other one, to be honest. Now I could play Flamingo, but I think it's time to draw some cards because I'm kind of like starving for like some cards. Now he could also play the 6-drop here. Let's see if he does it. He could let it die and just play the Pacifista from hand, which he combo one from hand. So I was thinking that I was gonna do this and play the Flamingo, bounce it back to the hand, and just buy myself more time. Because he also wants to pressure my leader, right? And if I have to waste time attacking his cards, it's just gonna be bad for me. Now I do probably opt to play the Red Rock here, because I just have to remove as many creatures as I can, and keep developing my board is not as good. Like, I mean, like if I play a Flamingo or something else and attack for Rush, he's gonna be able to pressure me back, and it's gonna be bad for me, right? Eventually. Now, if he plays Kaido, I'm gonna be able to deal on a damage to damage basis. But as you can see, like I haven't been able to deal any damage to the leader. He still has a lot of cards. A Kaido here will be kind of devastating. Also, a Mihawk is just very good right now. But I just have to try to outpace him. Now, he uses the leader ability, which in turns is very good, but like we also have a little bit of time for what it's worth. Now, he's gonna... I do have to keep up some defense because I don't want to go to 0. But he no longer can play the 10-drop, which is ideal for me. That is what it takes for me to win this game. And whatever he plays this turn, I can just bounce it back to the hand. Now, if he has a Red Rock here, then that's how he wins the game. But let's see what happens. Attacks for 9. I kind of want to just out combo to this because I don't know if I'm gonna be able to keep up energy here next turn. I could have comboed the 2k here, but I can just give him the false hope that I don't have 2ks. That way next turn he attacks for 2, which we already know I do have 2ks. I might just bounce back the Missile Sunday, but I think I just have to give myself more time. And if he spends his whole turn trying to do a Red Rock, he's not doing like a Mihawk or something else. So if he wants to get back the Red Rock, remove one thing and attack my leader, is probably better than him doing 2 more things there, right? Now at this point, my opponent has a lot of cards in hand. He has a win condition. He has more cards than me, and he has better removal than me. So it is not looking good for me. That is for sure. And I still have 2 life, but that can change very quickly here. He attacks for 6 because he thought that I didn't have a 2k because of what happened last turn. So I mean, that bluff kind of paid off here. He plays that one, but we drew the perfect answer here, as we're able to attack this turn and at the same time like remove his blocker. So because he tapped out, he's gonna be low on defense here. He does have a lot of cards in hand, so I don't expect to take any I wouldn't expect to actually deal the damage enough here. But we'll try, right? Now I have to play detached because I know he can maybe try to go for game here, and he might actually be able to win. But of course I'm representing enough combo for him to maybe not go for game. And that's what he does. He just plays another Mihawk. And at that point, I just have to survive one more turn and trying to go for game next turn, right? He can bounce back my touch to the hand, so it doesn't really matter. I have just tried to go for game. He didn't bounce the touch, which was, I think, the mistake that could have just let me win the game here. Because I have to just go 7, hope he doesn't have anything. 7, hope he doesn't have anything, and attack with Teach for the last remaining damage. Now I made a mistake here. I should have attacked with well, Yeah, I should have attacked with the Flamingo in case he had like a bounce spell, but I have to just hope that he doesn't have enough counterpower here. So yeah, we were able to win this matchup, but was because my opponent didn't want to bounce back attach, and that's kind of like it doesn't really happen that way usually. We were able to sneak a win here, but this is definitely the worst matchup for the deck, as they can just develop a Mihawk and then just destroy whatever you're trying to do. Like the deck, it has a really weak matchup against like the blue big bombs because they're too efficient. They're just a bomb that also removes something else. Like those are the worst cards against this leader, because I also have to spend my turn using like a red rock to be able to deal with those. And at that point, I already got too much value, right? All right, and I really have a lot of fun playing Vivi. It's just one of those decks that like it allows you to draw so many cards, and when I have a lot of cards in hand, I'm just happy. That's just me, and this is definitely a deck that allows you to do that. Um, I want to try some other versions of Vivi, as there's a lot of things that you can do with her, and it's gonna be really good. So that's what I want to try it out. Like definitely expect her to be another video from her, like a different build completely, because I just think she's the one that offers the most skill expression in this new like set. Like the deck is not set up like like skill expression on terms of deck building, right? Because you can build the deck like in so many different ways that is actually super fun to play her. But with that being said, thank you all for watching. Have a good day.